Jai Shri Krishna. Now we are beginning Chapter 6 of the Gita, Dhyana Yoga, or the Yoga of Meditation. This chapter explains control of the mind, meditation, real yoga, and finally defines who is the greatest yogi. In verses 1 and 2, our Lord Krishna explains the true meaning of karma yoga and renunciation. The true yogi and renunciate is one who gives up attachment to results and keeps acting. One who takes external inactivity as renunciation, such a person has not understood the real greatness of yoga and renunciation. True yoga and renunciation are the same, when inside there is freedom from desire and selflessness. In verses 3 and 4, Lord Krishna describes the practices of the beginner and of the accomplished yogi. For one starting on this path, the practice is to do duty without desire for reward. For the accomplished yogi, worship is through the peace of mind. One who is not attached to his own actions, nor to the pleasures that come as a result, he alone has brought his mind to the right state where he has realized the true meaning of renunciation. Dear devotees, in this way, Lord Krishna explained that by performing duties with the right intention, both karma yoga and renunciation are perfected. Thus the main role in all practice is of the mind. Now in verses 5 to 7, Lord Krishna inspires the soul to control his mind and uplift himself through his own effort. Let the seeker uplift himself through his own willpower without waiting for someone else to come to their rescue. For one who has conquered his mind, he has made it his true friend. Those who are defeated by the restlessness and desires of the mind are truly defeated by this enemy in the form of mind. But one who conquers his mind and makes it a friend remains equal in all changing situations. One who has sincerely conquered his mind, such a pure soul has constant companionship with me. Dear devotees, thus one who conquers his mind and acts like a renunciate, in his life descends knowledge, wisdom, and steady intellect. Now Lord Krishna describes this. In verses 8 and 9 our Lord Krishna says, one who applies knowledge in life and turns it into wisdom, with this experienced knowledge he finds satisfaction. He has conquered his senses and made his intellect steady. He looks at clay, stone, and gold with equal vision. He has attained the secret of yoga by freeing himself from the impurities of the mind. Be it a friend, companion, enemy, neutral or indifferent, a hater, a relative, a saint, or even a sinner, towards all of them he holds equal vision and applies himself only for the welfare of all. Dear devotees, the peace that comes from karma yoga and renunciation can also be gained through another path, meditation. Now Lord Krishna begins that subject. In verses 10 to 15, our Lord Krishna describes the main method of meditation. Now I will explain the simple method of meditation, the art of fixing the mind in me. The seeker should sit alone, turning his mind inward, cutting off all ties of desire for possessions and enjoyment. He should bring body and mind under control and lovingly fix his mind on the Lord. For this, the seeker prepares a clean seat, placing kusha grass, then a deerskin, and then a cloth. The seat should not be too high nor too low. On that he should sit steady and meditate. First he should control his mind and senses. Then concentrate and purify his inner heart. He should hold his body, head and neck upright and fix his gaze at the tip of the nose. Then, being devoted to me, calm, fearless, and disciplined, he fixes his mind on me and becomes absorbed in my thought. When the controlled mind becomes absorbed in me, then the seeker, established in me, attains supreme peace. Dear devotees, in this way, Lord Krishna explained both the outer and inner aspects of meditation. And he said that when the seeker becomes devoted to him, lovingly fixing his mind in him, then he begins to move towards supreme peace. Now Lord Krishna pauses for a moment and gives some cautions, which the seeker must bring into his life before practicing meditation. In verses 16 and 17, Lord Krishna says, those who lack balance in eating and sleeping cannot succeed in meditation. One who eats, sleeps, acts, and recreates in proper measure, that person through meditation overcomes sorrow. Thus the seeker should neither eat too much nor too little. The same rule applies to sleep, conduct, and activities. This balance is essential for progress in meditation. Now in verses 18 to 22, our Lord Krishna beautifully describes the further stages of meditation. When, with controlled mind, one becomes established in the self, then free of all desires, he is truly called a yogi. Like when the wind is still and the flame of a lamp does not flicker, such is the state of the yogi whose mind is steady. By meditation, when the seeker's mind becomes calm, he finds wondrous rest in the vision of his true self. Beyond that, he tastes supreme bliss, which is beyond the senses and the intellect, and is eternal. Having reached this, he never departs from the supreme. For there is no joy higher than this. Even the greatest sorrow cannot shake him, for nothing can pull him away from this bliss. Thus, when the mind becomes free of desires, true meditation begins. After that, the soul finds rest in its true self, and then in the perfected state, attains the supreme bliss of the Lord. In this state, his meditation is accomplished, and he never turns away from the Lord. Now in verses 23 to 29, our Lord Krishna inspires seekers to practice this path and describes the wonderful, love-filled state that arises from it, that which removes the union with sorrow, that alone in this world is called yoga. The seeker should tirelessly apply himself to this yoga, removing desires born from endless thoughts. With patience, step by step, he should become calm, so that all restless thoughts may come to a halt. When the mind wanders toward the world, he should bring it back again to thoughts of the Lord. This practice will one day burn away his sins, making him one with Brahman, the impersonal form of the Lord, and granting supreme happiness. Therefore, keep fixing your mind again and again on the Lord, step by step, moving toward sinless bliss. One day you will see all beings within yourself and yourself in all. And going further, you will see me in all and all in me. Dear devotees, now our Lord has brought Arjuna to the highest stage of the seeker. This is the state where the devotee, filled with love and devotion, sees the Lord everywhere. There is no higher state beyond this. Perhaps it was such a state that the gopis experienced when they sang, "Krishna is my body, Krishna is my mind, Krishna is my wealth all the time, day and night, my only need is Krishna. My heart is Krishna, my life is Krishna, I cannot live without Krishna. Like a blind man's staff, my only support is the name of Krishna." Now in verses 30 to 32, Lord Krishna describes the glory of this love-drenched state. When this supreme state descends into someone, he sees my presence in every person and object. Then my relationship with him reaches the deepest level. I dwell in him, and he dwells in me. Such a devotee cannot turn his face away from me, and I too never abandon such a devotee. To see me, he does not need to sit on a seat of meditation, nor close his eyes to fix himself in concentration. Even while acting in the world, he remains connected with me, and in seeking the good of others, he is simply loving me. He carries out all his duties as service to me, for he sees only my form in all beings. Joy and sorrow are the same to him. Such a one is called the supreme yogi. Dear devotees, after describing this highest state of yoga, Lord Krishna calls such a yogi the supreme yogi. That is, when the devotee sees the Lord everywhere, there is no higher stage. Now Arjuna thought that the mind is so restless, so how can a seeker ever reach this state? Therefore in verses 33 and 34 Arjuna asks, "Lord, this mind is restless, stubborn and strong. To control it seems to me impossible. Then how can anyone practice this yoga with steadiness? How can one put reins on a mind more restless than the wind?" In verses 35 and 36 our Lord Krishna answers this question. Yes, this restless mind is very difficult to control. But with practice and detachment, it can indeed be mastered. Without conquering the mind, it is hard to succeed in yoga. But with effort and this method, yoga is attainable. That is, when the mind runs toward worldly objects, the seeker should bring detachment toward them, and again bring his mind back to the Lord. Success will surely come. But while the seeker struggles in this way, a doubt naturally arises in his heart. If I do not succeed, then what will happen to me? With this doubt, Arjuna asks in verses 37 to 39 a very touching question. If someone leaves all worldly support, and with faith takes to this practice, trusting you, he sets out on this path. But does not reach perfection in yoga, does he not become lost from both sides? Does he not perish like a cloud torn apart? Lord, only you can remove this doubt of mine. Only you can tell me the fate of such a seeker. In verses 40 to 45, Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna, such a one never perishes, neither in this world nor in the next. For one who has even a little progress on the good path, such a soul never meets misfortune. Such a fallen yogi goes to heavenly realms, where he remains for many years. Then he takes birth in the home of the pure and prosperous, or directly in the family of wise yogis. Such a birth in this world is very rare. It is truly the fruit of his past devotion. Then he regains the progress of his former practice, and from there his spiritual effort continues to flourish. His past practice shows its influence in this life, as if pulling him irresistibly again to the path of the Lord. Even if someone only awakens curiosity for yoga, in time he goes beyond all selfish works. Thus, no matter how many births it may take, no matter how many turns come on the path, one day he removes all sins, and attains final perfection and the supreme goal. Dear devotees, in this way Lord Krishna explained, one who walks his path, even slowly, no matter how many births it may take, finally attains perfection and the supreme destination. So there is no question at all of misfortune. Now, in the last 2 verses of this chapter, Lord Krishna very movingly tells who in his eyes is the greatest yogi. In verses 46 and 47, our Lord Krishna says, greater than ascetics, scholars, and men of action is the yogi who walks this path and fights his inner impurities. And among all yogis, my devotee is dearest to me, who with full faith fixes his mind in me, who worships me day and night with absorbed mind. He is the supreme yogi, absorbed in my love. Dear devotees, Lord Krishna declares that the yogi who purifies himself by removing inner impurities is greater than ascetics, scholars, and men of action. Then he also commands Arjuna to become a yogi. And at the end, Lord Krishna gives Arjuna his final decision, that the greatest yogi is the one who lovingly, with full surrender, worships him. Therefore, the Lord's yoga of meditation is not just meditation, but a practice of loving connection with the Lord. This is the essence of this chapter. We will meet again with another chapter of the Gita. Until then, Jai Shri Krishna.